Welcome to the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing, founder of the Reiki Business Collective and creator of the Build Your Reiki Business program, sending blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business. Greetings, welcome, and thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing. So honored and grateful as always to have you here. So thanks so much for tuning in. In this episode, we're talking about collaboration. Collaboration, whether that is with other Reiki business owners and practitioners or anyone else you might want to collaborate with, because indeed the opportunities for collaboration are endless. So when it comes to collaboration, the first thing that we might think about is actually forming a business with someone else, including another Reiki practitioner. So let's say that you have a Reiki practitioner friend and you are like, we should open up a Reiki business together. Let's do this together. That might be the first thing that we think of when we think about collaboration. Of course, there are plenty of other ways. We'll talk about those, but we'll focus in on this type of collaboration first. Because I really want to encourage you that if this is the kind of collaboration that you might be thinking about, that you are considering partnering with someone else to start a Reiki business, I really want to encourage you to first consider other ways that you might want to collaborate rather than simply starting a business with someone else. Because the truth is, it's not so simple. You know, I've never been married, but my guess is that getting divorced is a lot harder than getting married. So my guess is that getting into the legal contract of a marriage is a lot easier than getting out of the legal contract of a marriage. Because when it comes to business, it's a lot easier to start a business with someone than it is to dissolve a business with someone. Now, of course, I talk about this in the Build Your Reiki Business program, but I really encourage anyone considering starting a business partnership, including with another Reiki business owner, to do some really hard thinking about whether or not that's really the best way to collaborate, because there are plenty of other ways to collaborate that are not such a big commitment, and that indeed might be a better fit for you and for your own Reiki business. So if you want to collaborate with another Reiki practitioner or some other kind of practitioner, yes, indeed, the possibilities are endless, and they are not limited to a business partnership and forming a formal business together. So other things that you could do, you could have joint sessions where the two of you are offering sessions together. So maybe another Reiki practitioner and the two of you offer joint sessions, so the two of you together in one session. Or you're partnering with practitioners of other modalities and you are offering those joint sessions together. So let's say, for instance, you're a Reiki practitioner and you know a sound healer and you would like to collaborate and offer joint sessions together. That would be really awesome. You know, I play the Native American style flute and I'm a Reiki practitioner and I use the flute in my Reiki sessions, but it would be really awesome to have someone playing the flute during the Reiki sessions. So that's just one for instance. And so that is a way that you can collaborate where you are offering joint sessions together. Other ways, you could offer joint workshops. So offer a workshop together where you are creating a workshop together and then offering that workshop together. Maybe a course where you are writing and teaching a course together, whether it is a Reiki class or some other kind of training program. You could also create products together, so collaborate in the creation of products. Maybe you have a friend who creates jewelry and you are the one who infuses the pieces with Reiki, for instance. So really and truly, the possibilities are endless, and you do not need to limit yourself to one way of thinking about collaboration. I will say that if you are collaborating with another practitioner and money is involved, now this, of course, is for the US. So know that my knowledge of business is for US-based Reiki businesses when it comes to the technical aspects. But one thing that you could do is that if you are receiving money, let's say, for instance, for the joint sessions or the workshop, one of the partners, one of the practitioners, is the one who processes, receives the money, and then you pay the other practitioner. Well, I should say your business pays the other practitioner. And please know that if you are paying another practitioner more than $600 in a tax year, you want to issue them a 1099. So have them fill out paperwork for a 1099 and you issue them a 1099 if the payments are going to be more than $600. So just be aware of that. But you can indeed handle the money that way, where one partner handles the payments, receives the payments, and then just simply pays the other partner their share of the earnings from the sessions, the classes, the workshops, whatever it might be. So that's one way to handle it. And probably the easiest way to handle it, rather than having a client pay two separate practitioners. You know, we always want to make it as easy as possible for the client. And so the less challenges that the client has in scheduling and payment, the better for the client. And if it's better for the client, oftentimes it's going to be better for you as the business owner. So that's one way of handling it. But workshops, classes, sessions, products, so many different ways. Now, if you are interested in collaborating with another practitioner or another Reiki business owner, I want to encourage you on some ways to approach this. I encourage reaching out to that other person you want to collaborate with some kind of vision for what you might be thinking. You know, some kind of idea, something that you might have in mind. And so, for instance, if you want to collaborate with someone, you're like, oh, I like what they do. It would be really great to work with that person, but I just have no idea how we might work together. I recommend having some kind of idea of how you might like to work together first before approaching that other practitioner. Because here's why. When it comes to proposing things to people, we want to give them something to accept or reject, and we want to give them some kind of concrete something to consider. You do want to have some kind of idea of what you might like to collaborate with the other person on, and something that you might really like to work on together. And so let's say that might be an anxiety workshop. Let's say that you focus on Reiki for anxiety, and you would really love to work with another practitioner on a workshop for Reiki for anxiety. Reaching out to that person, and rather than saying, hey, other Reiki practitioner, I would love to collaborate with you, get something concrete and specific It doesn't have to be set in stone, but to reach out to them and say, hey, other Reiki practitioner, as you may know, I specialize in Reiki for anxiety. And I know that you do X, Y, and Z, and I'm wondering if you might be interested in collaborating on a workshop about Reiki for anxiety, or fill in the blank. And so that's something concrete and specific that the other practitioner, the other business owner can really think about and say, am I interested in this? Do I want to take this on? Let me even find out more information. Let's have a conversation about this. Whereas if you just reach out and say, hey, I'd really love to work together, there's nothing there for the other Reiki business owner to consider. So there's no offer there to consider. It's just, hey, I'd love to work together. Okay. Have no idea what you're envisioning, and so I have no idea what I might be saying yes to. And if you're not going to offer me something to say yes to, then I'm just going to say, you know what? Contact me back when you have an idea of what you want to do. And then I'll be able to say yes or no to it. So when we reach out to collaborate with another practitioner, we want to make sure that we have some kind of idea of how we might like to collaborate, and not just an idea of, oh, I love what you do and I'd love to work with you. Because when you are presenting just the idea of working with someone to another busy Reiki business owner, practitioner who's got things going on, stuff on their plate, they've got their own projects, and you're saying, I want to collaborate with you, what you're actually saying is, I'd really like for you to make room for me and what I do. But when we can't give an idea of how we might like that other practitioner to make room, then we're not giving them any incentive to make room. Does that make sense? I want to encourage you that if you're considering, if you see another Reiki practitioner and their work and you see what they're doing and they're like, wow, I love what they're doing, I'd love to collaborate with them. I want to encourage you to do a few things first. To number one, I want you to encourage you to ask yourself, what is it specifically about what they do that you like? So what is it specifically that you like about, quote unquote, what it is they do? Do you like their videos? Do you like their posts? Do you like their emails? Do you like their podcasts? What is it about exactly in those things that you really like? What do you admire, and what do you enjoy about what they do? So having that specific thing. And then bringing that as part of your discussion with that other practitioner to say, hey, practitioner, I follow your posts and I really like that you do XYZ, or I really like how you do this. I really like this, whatever it might be, but have that specific. So approach that person showing them that you know what they do and that you like what they do, and specifically you like certain things that they do and that you can name what those things are. And so knowing what someone else does and what you like about what they do is a way to show them that you know what they do and that you have considered whether or not what they do is a good fit for what you do as well. So I want to encourage that first. Know what they do. And when you enter into the conversation, be able to talk about what it is they do that you like and that you think is a good fit and complements what you do as well. You also want there to be some kind of complement. So some way that there's some kind of overlap, either of your work or your audiences, that where there's a meeting place and there's overlap. And so oftentimes when it comes to collaboration, it's about doing things like sharing audiences and helping each other to widen their audience base and their reach. And so what that means is that you want there to be some kind of overlap between your audience and their audience in terms of the interests. You know, the person that you are approaching for collaboration is going to ask themselves, what's in it for me? And that's not a rude thing. That's not a selfish thing. That's just the reality. You know, when we have our own projects, when we have things going on, we're obviously always going to ask, okay, what's in this for me? How am I going to benefit from this? Because I got all my other stuff I'm doing, and this is something that I need to make room for. And so what's the benefit to me to make room for it? So you'll always want to be able to answer the question for the person you're approaching of what is in it for them. What are they going to get out of it? Whether it is an increased audience, payment, who knows, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter exactly what it might be. Well, it will matter to the person you're approaching, but you'll want to have something that's in it for them. Now, I'll give you an example from my own Reiki business because I have indeed reached out to others for collaboration and have done this in a successful kind of way. So years ago, I reached out to a Reiki business owner friend who was really into affirmations. She was posting about affirmations. She was asking, for affirmations. She was writing affirmations. She was really into affirmations. And I play the Native American style flute. And I thought, it would be really awesome to collaborate with this person where we're doing an affirmations and Native American style flute recording. That would be so awesome. And so what did I do? I reached out to this Reiki business owner who I knew, and I said, hey, this is my vision. This is what I'm thinking about. What do you think? And it was very specific. You write and record some affirmations. Send me the recording. I will play and record my Native American style flute to it, and then we will have this recording together. And I also said, it will be my recording. It will be your recording. It will be shared content that each of us can do whatever we want with it. So in other words, that would mean that if she wanted to sell it, she could do that. If I wanted to include it as part of some offer, I could do that. So it would be our shared content. And so we did it. It was great. As a matter of fact, you can get it as part of my Life Change Encouragement Kit at standingstoneshealing.com/kit. We did that together. It was a great success. We were both happy. Awesome. She played it on her podcast. It was just a great project that we did together. It was mutually beneficial. I was very clear about my vision for that project. I gave her something to accept or reject, and wasn't just like, oh, I know you like affirmations. Actually, what many people will do is just reach out and say, hey, we should just do something together. Not even, I know you like affirmations. Another example from my own Reiki business, this one is more recent. There's another Reiki business owner who I'm on her email list, and she emails consistently. I get her emails, I open her emails, I'm on her list, so I know that she emails consistently. I also email my list consistently. And I like and respect her. She does good work. She's great. And she offers a great free offer as well. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, Reiki business owner, I'm wondering if you would be interested in trading on our lists, sending out that free offer. You have a good free offer. I like it. I have it myself. I trust you. I like you. I like your free offer. I'm happy to send it out to my email list so that they can get it and benefit from it too. and get on your email list. Would you be willing to send out my free offer to your list? That, of course, would be of interest to your list, and send it to them so they can benefit from it as well. And the answer was, of course, yes. And so we each did that. We sent out our free offers to our mutual lists. And so that was a great way of collaborating. I knew her work. I knew what she did because I follow her and I am on her list. So I knew that she was doing the same kinds of things that I do, that she was consistent and showing up, and that there was mutual benefit in it. And so we were able to collaborate in that very specific way that was mutually beneficial, a piece of cake for each of us. It was not hard, did not take a lot of time, and it benefited our own audience as well because they had the opportunity to get that freebie too. So these are some examples of ways that we can successfully collaborate, but the real encouragement here is for some preparation, knowing how you might want to collaborate with another Reiki business owner and being really clear on that collaboration and what your vision is. Again, it doesn't mean that there isn't leeway for how you might work together, but we want to be approaching someone. It's almost like you're approaching a potential employer. Now, of course, it would be a collaboration and it wouldn't be exactly the same, but when you're approaching a potential employer, what are the things that you want to do? You want to show them that you know who they are, that you like what they do, and that you feel that you bring things to them and can assist them and help them, and have a mutually beneficial working relationship. And that's really what it all comes down to, a mutually beneficial working relationship. So get out there and collaborate. You know, there are so many practitioners out there to collaborate with, not just Reiki, but other kinds of practitioners as well. So many ways to collaborate. The possibilities are as infinite as Reiki. So let's get out there and collaborate. They're great opportunities for growth, for expansion, for new ways of learning. So let's get out there and collaborate, and let's do it in a way that is respectful and helpful and mutually beneficial. So sending lots of blessings and best wishes to all of the exciting collaborations. Have you collaborated with another Reiki business owner or other practitioner? Tell us all about it. If you're on YouTube, drop it in the comments. Feel free to reach out and let me know. Always, I am happy to hear about the collaborations. It's exciting and wonderful. So sending lots of blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business and your collaborations. As I mentioned, I talk more about getting into business with another practitioner and creating a business partnership in the Build Your Reiki Business program, which you can learn more about and start right now at standingstoneshealing.com/build. Sending lots of blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business. Thanks for tuning in to the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, and send to a friend. Learn more about the Build Your Reiki Business program at standingstoneshealing.com/build. Sending blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business.